Before Diane Alexander's husband died last December, he gave her his guilt. Clippings from his Klan days, the pattern for his hood, his pistol, a whip, and a stunning confession she's just made public.
He said, my problem is Willie Edwards. The things I done in the Klan. He said, I caused it.
In January 1957, Henry Alexander offered an innocent black man, Willie Edwards, a terrible choice while he looked down the barrel of a gun.
They gave him a choice to either run or jump. And Henry said nobody thought he'd jump. They thought he would run. And Henry said nobody would have shot him. But Mr. Edwards jumped.
From a bridge north of Montgomery, he leapt into the Alabama River 50 feet below. Some fishermen found his body 3 months later. The Klan had been looking for a black man who they said whistled at a white woman.
Ain't no way he would whistle at a white woman because he knew that he couldn't do that. You couldn't hardly talk to one. You couldn't hardly look at one. You couldn't do nothing in those days.
Sarah was Edwards' wife. She had 2 children and was pregnant with another when he died.
How could they have made a human being jump into all of that water? How could they did him like that? How could they have rode him around for hours and hours and harassed him and hurt him and talked to him like that, and he pleaded for his life, and then they still made him jump?
She never knew why until last week when Diane Alexander wrote her this letter.
I know that this letter does not change anything except to finally let you know that your husband died without a cause.
I wished I could give you his life back, but I can't.
May God bless you and your family, and I pray the letter helps you somehow.
To learn the truth. This past weekend, Willie Edwards' daughters returned to Montgomery to meet the woman who solved the riddle of their father's murder.
I had the fear, not that you would blame me. You know, you would have bad feelings about me.
No,
but
I was afraid to contact you first.
Willie Edwards is one of 40 martyrs whose name is etched on the memorial to those who died during the civil rights struggle.
They was some rough days down there for the blacks.
Henry Alexander made sure of that. He was arrested for blowing up the home of civil rights leader Ralph David Abernathy, then again for shooting at a desegregated bus, wounding a pregnant black woman.
They were supposed to kill Dr. King at Danley Field. The man that was supposed to do it evidently got afraid, but Henry was close enough to do it. But he said there were so many women and children around that there was no way they could get out.
Henry was first arrested in the church bombings and the bombing of Dr. King's home when we arrested 7 Ku Klux Klansmen.
Jack Shouse spent his entire career as a cop trying to keep Henry Alexander behind bars. Finally got him to trial on the Willie Edwards murder 19 years after Edwards died. The judge threw out the case for lack of evidence.
You chased him most of your life. He was never convicted of any major crime, and other than a week, he never spent any time in jail.
That's right. Like a cat with 9 lives.
Bill Baxley, a former Alabama Attorney General, thinks he knows why.
The FBI came to see me and told me that Henry Alexander had been their #1 informant on the Klan and asked that we give him some consideration.
Yes. I knew Henry was an FBI informant. He told me.
Henry's first wife, Edna, said she went with him when he met the agents. In a sworn statement back in 1976, she testified that he met with the FBI at schoolhouses and different places. I told him he was going to get killed working in the middle. The agent that called was always named Johnny Gray. Late today, NBC News has learned that FBI Director Louis Freeh is ordering an inquiry into whether anyone in the FBI attempted to intervene in the Alexander case. The Bureau says it will also respond as promptly as possible to a request from Willie Edwards' family for information on the case. The family wants to know if Henry Alexander was a paid FBI informant.
We pay our tax dollars just for the government to give to a killer to go on and do whatever he wants, enjoy life. I don't know how he enjoyed it emotionally, but I know materialistic, and he went out, raised his family off our money, and he killed my father.
But Henry's terrible gift of guilt has already solved the mystery for Willie Edwards' widow.
But I hope he's okay now, since we have found out what happened to him.
After 36 years, the secret of his murder is no longer hidden in a watery grave.